More alike. Thank you for tapping into another episode of Unbiased Opinions. We're your hosts, the spiritual wanderer Suave.
What's good? It's your boy, Lenon.
Big Blue, definitely not the little one.
And Mr. Pressure with a 3.
Yeah, and I hope you guys had a good Christmas. The holidays went great for you and all that good stuff. Oh, I guess we'll jump right into it. We won't waste no time or whatever. But let's start with the good stuff. How men are raised versus how women are raised.
We'll have to break that down to like who's raising them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you think about who's raising them?
No, but how do you're not necessarily raising a man or a woman. So is it how boys are raised versus how girls are raised?
Yeah.
Okay. It is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's most definitely different.
Yeah.
In my opinion, boys are easier than girls.
To raise?
Yeah.
Why do you think why would you say they're easier? I'm just curious because I'm not, as a parent.
I don't know if it's just boys. I think it's person.
I was going to say probably because I'm a man and I related. I don't know.
To me, yeah.
I think my son was easier to raise than my daughter, but that's not to say that all boys, because I see some people with boys and they're nothing like my son. They're a handful.
Yeah.
So my son was super easygoing. He was the baby that didn't get sick as much. He didn't require certain things. Like my daughter, she only could wear Huggies. If she didn't have Huggies, her skin would break out in rash. My son was a love baby. Thank you. Them little $20 loves got me through.
Yeah.
But as far as like him getting into stuff like my daughter did, it wasn't the same. But then again, he came after my daughter too. So things that she got into, I could say, no, don't do that. Because I knew that he was going to get into it, or he could get into it because I had a kid that did it. So now I can say, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So just to say, I guess if you had a boy first, or if you have all boys, it might be different.
Yeah. See, my mom had all boys, so she used to say some of us were difficult. Well, like I know I was difficult because I was allergic to milk, so that was a problem in general. So I was already on like strict stuff where I couldn't have regular milk and stuff like that.
Right.
They had to give me something else. So
That's
probably a lot more crying and probably a lot more.
But that's not your fault.
Yeah, you know.
Can't be like, you a boy, this why this happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I guess some conditions can make it worse.
So let's talk about like the things that boys do versus the things that girls do that would make it hard. So obviously women have periods, so that's another thing that is more difficult for you to deal with a girl. And they have these different hormones. Both genders go through puberty, but in different ways. And what I'm noticing is, oh my gosh, like my son is just way easier. But again, he's not as old as my daughter. So everything that my daughter's going through, he's coming right behind her, but not putting me through as much, I think, than my daughter did. Like I said on that last episode I was on, I kicked my daughter out at 11. She started like smelling herself real early. And obviously it was fortunate enough that she could go to her dad's house and realize that, you know, everything ain't always greener on the other side that you think it's going to be because you're trying to make it that. But she was just completely combative, completely just would not listen, would not give me anything to handle to where it could be a peaceful and positive situation. And I was like, it's probably best for you to go and take yourself out of what you think is just such a bad situation and see that it's not.
Yeah.
It didn't take her long.
Dude, I've seen this in a couple. So this is a question to you because I've seen this in a couple of mother-daughter relationships where there gets to a point where the daughter kind of challenges the mother in a way, like in this power kind of chase. Does that happen a lot?
I mean, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, but like for you, has that happened?
I did that with my mom, but it wasn't more of like a power thing. My mom wasn't how I am to my daughter, to me. She wasn't really there like that. And then I was damn near raising her. And I just got tired of raising her and then having to do all the things I had to do. I just felt I wanted to make my life easier and give myself an opportunity to not end up in that predicament. So I left at 15. Well, like almost 15. But that was not because I was challenging her or anything else. So when my daughter came up and she started challenging me, obviously, I think that it would have been different if me and her dad had been together, because we found out that both my kids were doing a lot of the things they were doing because they didn't like the situation that they were in. And me and my baby daddy, we thought we were doing them some justice by splitting up at the age that they were, which was very young, so where they never seen us together, so it's not something that they could miss. But whole time they wanted that, and when they started acting out and doing things, that was their reasoning why. Well, I want you to be with my dad. It's like, baby, that ain't happening. So what are we gonna do now?
Oh, totally, I get that.
Yeah.
So it was hard raising them in that sense, because they were just like, I don't even want to. This ain't the life I wanted. I didn't ask for this. Yeah. And a lot of times that's what it is.
To bring it back, to give it some more context, like, let's just make it basic. Do you think you should be more stricter on boys than girls?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
I feel like on a
mean?
case-by-case basis, I think it's more, because everything you described as far as like a daughter acting the way she did, or even how, like it was Suave's question, like I've seen that with a boy too, like trying to contend the father in the household and stuff. So I think it's more just like on a case by case basis with the kids. But to your point, I feel like it's kind of how you balance it, I would say, more so, because okay, for instance, a kid that like a boy that don't really want to play sports, and like the dad is forcing him to play sports, but he'd rather be creative, because he's seeing you allow the sister to be creative, and those certain things. And then potentially he grows up and he feels like, he was forced into these certain things, where the father's saying, hey, I'm just trying to teach you, how to be tougher, and those certain things. So it's...
but just off the top of your head, would you discipline your daughter the same way you would discipline your son?
I don't think so.
I think dads don't discipline the daughters a certain way, and moms don't discipline the sons. But I think that with me, like at one point I was like telling myself I have to, because he's a boy, and I didn't have a male in the home because me and their dad split. So at one point I was like punching him in his chest, but nobody taught me that. My mom had all girls, so I just was like, what do I do? Like what do I do to show him like I can get to you? Because at one point he told me, like, your spankings don't hurt,
naturally,
Mom.
you think that I should be tougher because he's a boy.
But not tougher, because what would affect my daughter probably wouldn't affect him, because he's a boy.
We're not going with the problem. It's just naturally you felt like, you just said, I should be harder because this is my son. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just naturally think that. I'm just saying because you wouldn't discipline your daughter the same way you would discipline your son.
I did discipline them the same, but it just was like, what's going to affect him? Because in it's case by case. Like, with my daughter, you can just yell at her.
Once you found out. See, you had to go through it to find out. But naturally, you're just not going to make a girl go sit and do the chair like I would have my son do for 30 minutes. I would have her do something else. I would discipline her. You get what I'm saying? But just as a father myself, I'm speaking from experience as well. It's case by case, but you wouldn't have a girl do the same thing.
I think it's because, like, with maybe, and this is just a speculation on my part, but I think with the male men fathers, they find they're more delicate on the women.
Most definitely.
On the girls, because they know, like, with the men, I'm trying to make you tough. But then the women, I'm not trying to make you tougher, so I'm not gonna punish you in that type of way.
That creates women who don't take accountability, because their dads are always saying, "That's my pretty princess. She don't have to do this. She don't have to do that." Even though she just did something real evil, she's my little pretty princess. I'm not spanking her, and that's what it creates. Yeah. But I think that the world modifies things for women, just like they have modified push-ups for women. It's like everything is modified to that decree, because women are biologically not lesser than, but not as strong as men, or not as
there's like why there's like women divisions in sports and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But I forgot. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say something too to what she said.
Yeah.
Y'all both forgot.
Yeah.
What was the last?
She said.
What was the last thing you said?
Talking about accountability issues with the girls.
I was talking about being how fathers are.
Oh
more
yeah,
delicate.
I was gonna say for me, I haven't had kids, so this is obviously from outside perspective. But I would like to go into it trying to balance the discipline the same, so that similarly, there's not a girl growing up to not have accountability, or a boy growing up who understands there's certain disciplines that he can't do and stuff like that. But I wanted to ask you, Twerk, because you had said early on. You find it easier to discipline or to raise a boy instead of a girl, but it's easier to be like delicate with a girl and those certain things. So why do you think it's easier raising a boy when it's kind of like, you could just be delicate with the girl?
Simply because I related to my boys as far as being a boy. I could relate to it, then other things came easier. When I needed to teach you your ABCs, because we threw the ball together, because I didn't really paint nails and stuff with my daughters. So I had to wait and learn them, and all I did was baby them, like you say, is by nature. That's my baby, whatever whatever. Because I ain't throwing the ball with her, I ain't slapping her in the back of the head, running. You know what I mean? It's just different, and that may just be because I'm a dad. You know what I mean?
See, that's what my dad did with me, though.
Right.
My dad took me to my track meets. He took me to my track practices. He was there at my games where I cheered at. My mom wasn't there. She was more with my sister at the show choir stuff. And so it's like, that was my dad raised me. And some people say like a boy, but.
Do you have brothers?
I don't. So.
And you were more athletic growing up and stuff? Yeah.
And when I ran away, I ran away to his house. So from 15 on until I got married, I was with my dad. But it wasn't like we skipped a beat, because I was already always with my dad with everything else. So we already had pretty much a real kind of locked in type of relationship. But from the moment I was a kid, my dad, I feel like, disciplined me like you would typically think a boy would get disciplined. Like, he would punch me. And it's like, people say all the time, well, you wouldn't punch a girl, you would punch a boy. But I got punched, so it wasn't no
But
different
still
thing.
In your head, you knew that, hold on, this is a little tougher than usual, Dad.
It was usual for me. It wasn't nothing. I didn't never know like that wasn't how it was supposed to be, because that's all I knew.
So as a kid, that was just something you was accustomed to. So you was thinking that's how.
I mean, it wasn't until my grandma said, like, a man obviously doesn't know his strength when he's upset, and then you taking it out on a child when you whooping them or whatever. And so that carried on with me as I was having children. And so I think I probably punched my son one time, and I felt his chest, like.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that no more. That's out. I have to find another way to discipline him. But it wasn't because it was him as a boy. It was just what's going to let him know. Because spanking him ain't it. Not no more. I used to do this thing like, however many years you are. You get one pop, you 1, 2 pops, you 2. I think when we got to like 5, and he really said, like, your whippings don't hurt. And I was like, okay. So now what am I going to do? Now I'm about to punch you.
That little separation, though, right there, would you ever punch your daughter in the chest?
I have. It's whatever happened when I don't want to punch no kid.
Yeah, you
so
saying
if I
just
lose
through your
my
experience.
control and I punch you, then I have to correct myself on that.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say, because I don't think that like spanking your child is a problem as much, but I think that like there comes a level on how you, I guess, punish your child.
Right, especially if you're doing it when you're upset.
Yeah, when you're getting to the level of like punching your kid or something like that, I feel like it's getting beyond the spanking aspect, to where if you're mad enough, you know,
it might really hurt them.
Yeah, you could really hurt that kid.
Well, and I think sometimes we really have to look at ourselves, like if we, and hey, we may feel like we are, but if we're articulating enough for them to understand and those certain things. I just got my niece a little buggy, or my parents got her this buggy, but we were like out in the front yard when I went over to visit, and she turned the wheel and she like, I can't do this. Like it's done, and was like throwing a tantrum and shit. I think easily at that point you're like, okay, you throwing a tantrum, like we done, And so I like tried like articulating, oh, try this, and then started working, and then she figured it out and started learning. And I'm not saying it's cookie cutter that's gonna work every time, but I think sometimes instead of like getting frustrated,
it's definitely the kid and the parent. That's what it's about the parent and the kid. And I learned that I didn't need to put my hands on my kids. Like the times that I did, they knew I wasn't playing with them, and that's all I needed. So now they don't play with me no more. And that's not really what my goal was, but I took it for what it was. And now we're able to just talk. And I do both of my kids like that. So, but obviously, just to answer the question, I think that girls are definitely harder to raise than boys are. And the things that they can go out and do. So like if a girl goes out and gets pregnant, she's gonna bring that baby home. But if a boy goes out and gets someone pregnant, she's staying with her parents. She's not coming home with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you tell your son like, why would you do that? Or you wasn't raised like that, but was he? Like those things, you can't really raise them a certain way. I tell my kids, if y'all gonna be 20 years old when I'm 40, y'all can have kids at obviously whatever age. Both my kids can have kids right now, right?
Yeah.
If y'all choose to do that, that's on y'all. That's how I'm raising my kids. But to say one is easier to raise than the other, I had to tell them the same thing. Now, do I think my son is gonna go out and have a kid before my daughter? No. I think my daughter will be the one to have a kid first. But that's because she's more into like boys and stuff. My son, he into girls, but he ain't really worrying about that. He worrying about his career.
Right.
But that's my kids. Somebody else's kid might be different.
Could be totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
I've seen some kids when they get into that age, like getting adolescent age, they're more prone. It'll be boys that are more prone to like getting women and trying to get that family aspect already, and
all his friends are like that. Yeah. All of his friends are like that.
So I think like their surroundings definitely take part.
I don't know, because like again, all his friends are like that. And at one point he had like a little time where I was like, okay, I'm the only one without a girlfriend. I'm gonna just get a girlfriend. And I think it was mostly because he didn't want to hear nobody's mouth. But then he told himself, like, I don't care what nobody think. If I don't want to deal with no girls, I'm not going to deal with no girls. And then he got back on his track.
Yeah. But the surroundings still had him think about it.
True.
To make him try. That's what. And that actually brings me to another topic that I was thinking about as far as, like, your surroundings is, like, do you feel like your surroundings still impact you once you get of, like, your adult age? Like, so once you become an adult, do you still feel like I guess you can say you're heavily influenced as you could be as a kid by your surroundings?
I don't know, because I think as an adult, you choose what your surroundings are.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're still in the same surroundings, then it's totally up to you how heavily involved you are or aren't.
Yeah, but do you think it can influence you or?
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. Like if you around people that's are drinking all the time, it can influence you to drink, but as an adult, you have to have that control of yourself to decide if I need to drink or not, or if I want to drink or not. If you decide you had a drinking issue that you didn't want to, and you don't want to drink, then it don't matter who's around you that drinks.
Yeah. See, I think it's more so depends on if the person knows themselves well enough.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have a good sense of like self-awareness and you're really comfortable in your skin, then like your environment doesn't influence you as much as it would if you weren't. Like I feel like some people, if they're not, they're more easily influenced because it's more like, oh, why not? Or they running from something. They want to try to fit into some mold. So I want to try to be cool with these people and stuff like that. But if you're older and you know yourself, you're like, I don't care about none of
that. I think it's you've gone through that experience before, and when you've came out of it, you're not necessarily satisfied with the outcome. So now moving forward, you're like, okay, if I find myself in this sort of predicament again, you're more comfortable saying, okay, that's not for me, or
yeah, that's true too. Like if you already had the experience with something before.
Whereas when you a kid, you kind of, okay, you going to high school, shit, I'm trying to, I got to be here every day. Like, like I'm not trying to get made fun of and shit. So let me stop wearing this or start hanging out with these people. And whereas once you get older, you like, okay, like, I like what I like. This is, I'm going to be surrounded by people that like what I like and go from there.
Yeah. It would be something like when you in high school, certain clothes would be out. You wear this? No. Yeah. Certain shoes, you wear these shoes? We talking about you. And kids will make fun of you quick.
Man, real quick.
Kids don't have no filter. But even the littlest of little kids will make fun of you.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been like sitting next to a kid and they just say something and you like, well, dang. Like, you didn't have
They'll eat you right on up.
You didn't care about
Make
that.
Make you really second guess yourself.
Yeah. I was like, dang, you really truthful over here. You ain't gonna hold back at all. No holding back punches. That joke is vicious.
I found myself trying to make sure my son like got whatever he needed so that he wouldn't be that kid to go through like the stuff I went through. But then I had to say, just sit back and let him live his own.
Yeah.
And I just recently like read a message between my son where he basically was like, yeah, people used to make fun of me, but I'm standing on business now. And I'm just back there like rooting for him, like, yeah, son, stand on business. Don't let him punk you.
Yeah,
because they will, especially with boys.
Yeah.
Oh, it's worse.
I feel like it's hard to shield a kid from that. They just gonna eventually run into it.
Yeah.
And you just gotta like, you can probably help them with it, but I don't know if you can protect them from it.
Why do you think that's such a normality? Like the dynamic of kids in school and like bullying and wallowing in insecurities.
Because kids is getting treated like shit at home.
I think it's crazy. I think it's a power thing too, though.
I didn't really witness it or go through it.
Bullying?
Yeah. I didn't like
you didn't witness it?
Like no.
So,
like you didn't see nobody getting bullied?
Like no, you had fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People, drama, beef, or whatever the case may be. But like how it is, like he's saying now where it's normalized, like it's really looked out for and stuff like that in schools. Like
go to school with some dusty shoes on and see what happens to you.
No, but I even think within like there being fights and stuff though, I think that's people at that age who, that's potentially sparked by someone cracking a joke in the other person instead
they
of.
Ain't like it.
I'm thinking more relationship based.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I told
girlfriend.
When I told my daughter when she got to high school, I told her straight up. I said, "Girl, these girls are feeling like these is they men, and they are willing to go down in the dirt for it. So get to this school and act accordingly. Every dude that like you do not need to give attention to because they probably got 2 or 3 girls, or that one that think that's they man, and regardless if they man or not, they feel like that's they man.
Yeah.
And so my daughter texted me like, "Mom, why'd you have to have me first?" I'm like, "What you mean? Like, why are you texting me? Leave me alone." She's like, "I need a big sister to call on when girls try to jump me and stuff." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why are they going to jump you?" Well, this girl thinks that her boyfriend likes me. And it's literally exactly what I told her. Because she thinks that he likes you. That's it. That's all it is. And she want to fight.
She see you as a threat.
That's it. And now she want to fight.
Competition.
That's it. And it's real. I tell them this is Hunger Games 3. Because Hunger Games 1 was elementary. Then they had to get through middle school. And they used to try to fight in middle school over boys.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, that was trying to fight. Now you in high school, and they will fight you.
Oh.
They don't care.
In a second.
But that's even what I'm saying, too. Not even just like bullying. Why is that just like the normality?
We didn't have 1,000 fights at school, bro.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It didn't get to, I don't think it got to fights. People got bullied. And see, when I was growing up, a lot of people took their lives. I knew a lot of people who committed suicide when I was growing up.
Yeah, I knew a couple. We had a decent amount of fights in our school. I knew one from being bullied, and I think the others.
I had one that was bullied. Sure. I had an adult coworker that did that, but from what I knew, it was like things happened in his life. He was losing his daughter, stuff like that. But going back to kids, I was bullied, but I've seen other people get bullied and it didn't work out so well with them. Like they'll get beat up and stuff taken from them. And we just seen that situation at Rancho.
Yeah.
They took kids. They took one kid's weed pen, and then the boy tried to go back and get it for him, stand up for him, and he ended up getting killed, jumped and killed. But it's like it's happening. Like can't say it's not happening.
Yeah, that junk's real.
And maybe it's like influence of just like you know what's on TV and like obviously like I didn't have World Star Hip Hop when I was in high school and shit, you know, whereas that really got its claim to fame
World
from those
Star
type of
Hip-Hop.
fights.
I think bullying was always there though, but I
yeah.
just think it's just more. The reason why it's so prominent now is because we got social media that makes it spread a lot.
They're recording it and putting it on.
That junk spreads a lot more heavy because now it's not just you being talked about through your school. Now you got.
But it's not just the fact of that because you don't really care about X, Y, and Z over in Utah.
Oh, people do though.
But no, it's more the fact that just the influence that social media has.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you got to be at a certain standard.
Yeah,
you're not really worried about the masses or who. You don't really know those people.
You don't. But at the same time, when it's a person that's getting, say, if their whole school is talking about them.
Oh yeah, that's all they need is the school. Yeah,
and then you go to
that's
your computer at home, and then you getting talked about on your computer at home. States? That just weighs on you because it's not. Now you're not getting attacked from one place. You're getting attacked from several different places. You know, so now it's like, where do I go? I can't be online and be like some people use online and the internet to escape.
But as a kid, I'm only worried about my best BFF and so that I play with. That's what's hurting my feelings. But not Byron that says something in my
I think
comments.
that's you as a kid.
That's you.
You get what I mean?
Some people actually look at that and they care.
Even me as a kid, I probably wouldn't care about that being how I was raised, you know what I mean? Or how I grew up as a kid. We didn't have internet to like be that much of an impact.
Right.
You know, but a kid now, the internet is almost everything to a kid now. So it's like, that's important to them. Like, if we was to go back to like Trey's kid lives through the internet. That's the personality that he wants to be. That's where he feels like he's cool. So imagine him getting made fun of at home, at school, and there. That takes away all his credibility that he has on the internet because he can be like, dang, this was my jam.
What do you do with those kids that think like that? So like my kids, when they started getting social media, I told them, if I see you going back and forth in comments, that it's a wrap. Because you're not getting on the internet to argue with people.
That's hard though.
But it's not hard because I'm looking at your social media. So when I see you, my son has made comments and then people are under his comment and it's up to 1,000 comments. I'm like, I'm making sure he not saying nothing back. They can say whatever they want. Yeah. You can give your opinion on the internet.
It before, right?
But that goes back to...
But if you're going back and forth with people and now you're taking yourself out of reality and you're putting yourself on the internet. Let's be real. People aren't really saying what they would say in real life on the internet. Right. They wouldn't have said that to your face. And that's you're going back and forth with them. So if you're going to engulf yourself into an unrealistic situation, you are not ready for social media. And that's what I've always told my kids. My daughter, I took her right up off that Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right quick because, oh no, you're going back and forth with people, baby. Let's get up off of this because you're not in reality. In reality, if somebody said that to you and you said what you said back, y'all would be fighting right now. And we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think they fight in almost every instance when people do that back and forth?
Yeah. You saying things that you would never say.
Well, that's from like internet talk, but I'm talking about in person.
That's what the whole point is. They are bored.
So in person, I have to feel like the dialogue's different.
It's going to stop.
Yeah.
Or you might have somebody in your ear hyping you like, girl, don't let her say that to you.
Yeah.
And well, now that's what I was going to say. Things that you probably wouldn't say, but because somebody hyping you and not look at you fighting, and you probably wouldn't even have fought.
I feel like the internet is kind of based around that same thing. You make a comment, this person gets several likes on that comment, you feel fueled up to say some more stuff. Yeah. So if this person responds, you're going to feel like, oh, okay, well, I got these people behind me. Let me say something else. It's like, to me,
who cares what they saying?
I get you. Like I'm totally with you, but I feel like it's just how kids are raised now. I feel like they pay more attention to that.
But I feel like the human nature is always some sort of influence, though. Like, even the internet, like with that sort of shit, like the influence of, okay, yeah, I just said a comment that I thought was funny. I clicked send. 20 people just reacted to it. Like, you feeling like, okay, I just told a funny joke. You know, like, I feel like that's why I wanted to ask you, when do you feel like it's changed from like parental influence to like friend influence? Where
teenage.
Yeah, dang, that's a good
teenage
question.
for sure. I mean, again, I can only speak about me. I think that my kids stopped listening to me and started listening to their friends like, around like 12-ish.
Yeah. Because I think that's important too, because that's when you start to see the clicking.
Because I'm not cool no more. I ain't cool no more. I used to be cool. My kids wanted to do everything I did. Oh, Mom, I want to be a bus driver when I was a bus driver. Oh, Mom, I want to be a post carrier when I was a post carrier. Now that my daughter is like, my son and my daughter, I don't want to be anything like you, Mom. Nah. And I'm like, cool. That's fine. I want you to be your own person. You're not hurting my feelings. Yeah. They're like, I don't want to be anything like you or my dad. That is okay.
I never was the cool parent.
No.
Really? That's crazy. I wouldn't even picture that.
I mean, I am cool, but I'm more. I'm
because I think I'm cool too. Shoot.
Yeah, but I mean, be the strict one. Oh, okay. You come off more like you would be the cool parent to me. I would think you would be the cool parent.
I'm too cool at times.
I've never had to whoop a kid.
Yeah.
My voice has done everything I needed.
I believe that though,
and this comes from experience with anybody. With from dogs to kids, you do it. You catch them while they're young.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you instill shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? You can't wait, because a lot of parents do want to be the cool parent. They want to love their kids, but they also want to be like, hey, I'm with you.
Me.
I've never been that. I was him from jump.
Yeah.
But do you think that like that comes off from you being the cool parent that you can? Because I feel like when you are the cool parent, you being upset kind of makes that kid be like, oh dang, I need to chill out, you know, because you are the cool parent, because they're like, dang, I don't want to make the cool parent get out of character. So I think
that's what I've done to my kids in their teenage years. Like I was cool. I want you to come talk to me, be open, and then if you test me, like I gotta show you, not just spaz out and be physical with you, but show you like, let me take what I've given you away. Now we not cool at all.
Yeah.
Not even on that. Don't come talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't got nothing to say to you.
Yeah, that was me and my dad. Cause like with my dad, he was always real cool. Everybody thought my dad was like cool, cause he was like just quiet, passive, whatever, and stuff like that. So my dad was like never really mad. So when he actually got mad, I'd be like, dang. Like, he wouldn't even need to like hit me. That was enough to be like, dang, I done. But got him out of character.
And I think that's the thing more so too, like saying you're not the cool parent, that's not always like I'm gonna let my kids do whatever sort of thing. I feel like how you carry yourself and the influence you have on them, you still a cool parent.
And it's a real like thin line, because see, people will see how you are with your kids and they'll automatically think like, oh, you let your kids do anything they want. And it's like, no. See, the difference between what you are thinking and what is really happening is my kids tell me everything because of the fact that they feel comfortable enough to come talk to me, and there's nothing going on in their lives that I don't know. So does that make me cool because my kids will come and say, Mom, this just happened.
Right.
And I'm not finna be like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm like, tell me more. Yeah. Now I'm about to find out exactly what it is, all the way down deep into the hearts of their soul. And then after that, we're going to talk about it.
But isn't that interesting though? Because friends could perceive that as corny too. Like the kids' friends could say, oh, you a mama's girl and shit.
They don't. See, with my daughter, right now, my daughter's older, so she's in high school, and now it's literally 14 and up, not just all 13-year-olds, all 12-year-olds. Now it's 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. So she's coming and she's bringing her friends around, and there are some of them older than her, and they're like, one of them, she just came over, Mom, she called me Mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you know.
That's when you reach the cool aspect.
You know what I'm saying? They've been through things, and
they know how to butter her up.
and as soon as they thought that, I'm like, okay, we're not doing that. Now I see what y'all doing. I'm glad show me your hand. And then once they show me their hand, because they feel comfortable, now let's talk about it. This is what we can do, and this is what we not gonna do.
Let me ask you this: when did you have your first boyfriend?
Me, baby. Ooh. I mean, we as kids think we got boyfriends
In elementary and shit.
probably
Yeah.
before that.
But
Yeah.
when I'm saying when
I probably had told a little boy in preschool, like, hey, come on. You holding my hand at snack time.
Yeah. No, I was there too, for sure.
In my mind,
Yeah. But you saying like serious?
When
like,
did you have your first boyfriend?
Preschool.
Somebody you could walk and talk with. No, that was not the first boyfriend. You don't even remember his name.
Walk and talk. I sure don't.
Okay, so no, that don't count.
Shoot,
You said
know
walk
my
and talk with?
first grade crush.
Yeah. Like a real, you might
Like a
even
middle
go
school-
to a school dance with,
Yeah.
right? Like some real, no, not who you just saying. And his mama like, don't talk to that little fast ass girl. Not that shit. Not that. I bought him an ice cream. No, I'm talking about. We might go to Sadie's. I done bought you the little heart for Valentine's Day.
8th
I was
grade.
gonna say that sounds like high school.
Okay.
8th grade. He gave me a promise ring too.
Oh dang.
So where was that going? Or you just wanted to know when?
I just want to know.
Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna tie that in with
Yeah, I thought
you
that was
know
tying this
knowing
up.
knowing the when the
When to be
It
cool and
actually-
when not to be
or,
cool.
or just the boundaries of the daughter. Like now you have a daughter.
Well,
since you had
I did because I just
Yeah.
asked because she said her daughter was into like boys and stuff like that. So I wanted to know when she had her first boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
8th
girls
grade.
do typically around that time. So
They do.
you know
They
what I
get
mean?
it depending on, I guess, the environment. Like, so my daughter, when she was in elementary school, I always asked, like, just to hear what they talking about. Like, oh, you like a little boy? You like a little boy? And she was like, no, Mom, I don't like any of them. They're ugly. So I'm like, oh, okay. So they just gotta not be. You need options.
Yeah.
You would if there was some options. So she would have probably liked boys then. She actually liked boys younger at a different school. She liked this boy, and she been here before my daughter. Like, I found a note in her cardigan, and literally it still makes me grab my pearls to this day. She was probably 2nd grade. And she wrote this note, and I can't tell you verbatim. I can look it up because I got a picture of it. But she wrote this boy a note basically telling him, unquoted, I can't be with you no more because you kicked me. And a real man would not put his hands on me. And I'm just like, what do you
2nd
know
grade?
about a real
Yeah.
man?
But I remember 3rd, 2nd grade, I was writing notes like that. And
Yeah?
shit too. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, and nowadays I can't even imagine, bro. With technology and iPhones, I don't even want to know what my nieces and nephews know already.
Like the conversations that be going on.
Yeah.
And they-
Because I know-
they send in.
Man, I be reading my
Guilt.
son's messages and I be shocked. I be like, what are you talking like that for?
Yeah.
Why are you talking like that?
I
But
can
I
believe
see
it.
the
Group
kids.
chats and
I see the
Discords.
kids talking, and I used to tell my daughter, I see how they talking. You not responding though, because you know I'm on your stuff. And
At school, though,
I'm like, I know you not the only one not talking like this. And both my kids had to admit that they cuss. I'm like, y'all don't gotta lie.
yeah.
I know y'all cussing because y'all friends text y'all and cussing. And I'm like, you better tell that little girl not to cuss in your inbox because why y'all going back and forth like that? Who do y'all think y'all are? And I will block kids. Like, you're not talking like this in this inbox. Y'all, if you going to cuss, should no adults see or hear you. Because obviously you're going to
It was
cuss.
on a text.
So y'all not checking y'all kids? You're not checking your kids'
No,
phone?
I'm just saying. You said
You're not
hear
checking
'em.
your
You
kids?
didn't hear them. You checked it.
Or
Don't be
see.
checking her
Do
text.
you not check? What you mean don't check?
No, I don't.
You
I
don't check your kids' texts?
Uh-uh.
You better check them texts. Hey, listen, check your
I
kids'
control
phone.
what I can control.
Check
I've
your
never
kid's
had to
phone.
whoop a kid. Kid ain't never been a juvenile.
You don't gotta whoop
ain't
'em.
never been RPC from school. I'm 5'8". I'm cool. I ain't tripping. I'm just saying I ain't.
So
I
is that,
control what I can control.
is that the threshold? I think that would be my threshold too. Like, okay, I'm getting calls from the dean.
That,
You know-
yeah. Then,
Well,
you
when
put-
they
then,
start-
then I would try to.
Oh,
Then,
I
you
think
know what
that
I'm
when
saying?
you get to that point, that it's probably too far gone. And then when you go and check, then you going to see it's been like
well,
back
I
and
would,
back and back.
I would
You know what I'm
imagine
saying?
it would be patterns or some red flags leading up
You
to
miss
that
them.
you as parents
You probably missed them.
trying to be the cool one. Not me. Get your ass out that bathroom.
My kids acted so.
What you doing in that toilet?
You ain't gonna let them enjoy their little.
They can't do nothing around me but read a book.
My kids acted so
thank
cool
me
when
later.
I figured it out.
What?
I was flabbergasted. Like I would have never
gonna-
known until
You
I
gonna
said
take away
phone check.
they me time.
They was on me. My daughters used to hang out in the bathroom. What y'all doing? Y'all, it
And
don't
that-
even
hey,
take that long.
hold
Whatever
on.
it is, come up out of there.
That's
It don't
crazy
matter. I don't
he
even
said
care.
that.
Whatever
Whatever
you
it
about to
is,
even
come
tell
out.
me you doing.
Come out.
Yeah, it's
my
just
my
too long.
kid's father did that. He told me after we found out everything, he started running down like she has been in the bathroom. She'll be in the bathroom for hours, and I'm like, doing what?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know, probably TikToking. So you let her be in the bathroom for hours, not talk to nobody, come in the house, go in her room, close the door, don't talk to nobody, go in the bathroom for hours, and you ain't think that something going on.
Well, that's what I think is the big thing too, is how you saying, okay, you're not gonna check text and stuff, but you still are observing. you
Most
still
definitely.
are.
To
it's
where
just
I don't even have to check.
yeah.
I feel like I'm there now.
I'm around
Yeah.
the corner. I'm peeping through here. I'm on it.
Okay, it's cool. Yeah,
I feel
okay.
like I'm there
And check.
now.
Or something's up. Okay, we got to say something.
They gonna
but
be
you
like,
don't got to
I'm
check
not
every
gonna
day.
Do it in
Yeah.
front of him. I already know, and that's what I was gonna say too about being a dad. I instilled it in them young, and also like I didn't have to be there. Like she's saying, like as a mom, like even as they get older, you go through those levels. Because even me with my mom, as I got older, she went through levels with me of testing and certain things. My mouth got a little worse, or I cuss now, or you know what I'm saying. But with a dad, for the most part, you really know. They be like, I'm gonna call your daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Or you feel me? When you around him, he don't do that around you. You get what I'm saying? That's how it was for me because I instilled it young, my voice, and they already knew. Okay, I'm not going to even play these games over here.
I think what happens too is like for some reason, it seems that kids have a bigger fear of
The dad.
fathers.
It's a dynamic.
And
this
unless,
is a real
and I was
dynamic.
about to say, unless the woman do some crazy stuff, like come up to the school in their pajamas and trip with the kids and trip with the people, for them to be like, oh, my mama ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
And see, what I did is I was just present. Like I was fortunate enough to have a route where my kids' school was on that route, so I would take my lunches there. I'm just showing them I'm right here. Don't act up. I ain't have to go in there like, what you doing? None of that. I'll just pop in, be looking in their room. Like, what you doing? I'm just watching. I'm not even going to engage.
Yeah.
But it just gave them like a don't play with her. Like she that close. But now, going through middle school, if anything popped off, they calling my phone
Right.
already. Like, I know she about to pull up if there's anything going on. And my daughter was even like, Mom, stop coming into this school. No, I'm not.
Daddy not doing that. If
Yeah.
I got to come up here,
It's an issue.
man, listen.
Yeah.
Well, you better get moms to come. Matter of fact, you might be better off.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my nephews, they mom was asking him why is he he's more routine and he acts well behaved at his dad's house but not with her. And she asked him why he does that, and he was like, because I don't like it when daddy yells. But she took that as, oh, he must be tripping out on him. And I was like, no, I don't think that's the case. I think it's just because when he does get stern and he gets in that point, he knows like, okay, this is I'm about to get it if I do something else. So let me not act up.
And I don't want to generalize too much. Just through my experience, like with my mom, she's very high emotion. I say my throat is hurting, she already wondering if I went to the doctor, all these certain things. Whereas, you know, I feel like dads are a lot more
laid back.
Yeah, laid back, but also just like, is this me?
It's both of us.
Yeah. A lot more laid back, but also, I don't want to say this, like women don't think this way too, but
Logic.
like logically forward as opposed to
Moms
like
are more
emotional
nurtured,
forward.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that plays a part in it because,
bro.
where it's like, you know, hey, this is kind of happening at school, and you and Pops can break it down. Okay, this is what you need to do. Whereas you tell Mom this happened at school, she ready to pull up. Yeah, she like, ready to pull up and say, who's messing with my,
you feel me?
Hey, my mom did that for me.
That's what
Because what happened was I freaking got, my mom bought me this shirt, and it was a South Pole shirt. It said South Side on it. Mm-hmm. And I got sent home. I got RPC for wearing that shirt. It was like, dang, you can't wear it. So when I went home, I was like, dang, Mom, I got RPC, but they RPC me because the shirt you got me. And she was like, oh, hell no. So she put on the jersey. And she drove up to the school, and she walked up in there with that jersey on. Hey, which one of y'all told him he got to go home because he was wearing this jersey? I bought this. And I was like, yeah. You know, when you're in the back, like, yeah, y'all messed up today. But
I'm not going to say I've done that.
Hey, moms ride for their kids.
That's what I'm saying. They'll, like, if a mom finds out a kid got beat up or jumped, she's for sure gonna try and get some vengeance. And I think
I don't know about vengeance. We gonna handle that.
Yeah,
we ain't doing no vengeance or nothing.
I mean, I could see a couple.
One thing for sure is my kids gonna be safe at school. They're gonna come to school and be able to learn. You're not gonna put them in an environment of fear where they think that someone's going to do something to them. So if you're not gonna handle that, I will.
Yeah, no, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm just saying more so. You know, and I can see a dad pull it up and saying, yo, don't do this. But I just, you know.
We've seen more moms.
Moms be pulling up, though. Yeah, they got issues.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't see as many dads pulling up like that. But I do see the moms.
Where's she at? Where's she at?
Man, when my daughter got bullied, this little girl spit on her paper in front of her and took her backpack and threw it away. I couldn't even go to the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was going to be there, that girl?
The girl and her mom.
Oh, no.
I wasn't finna have no conversation.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's best that I don't go to that.
Y'all all would have been fighting. I saw that on the video,
I wasn't finna have no conversation.
See, like you said, mom's coming with a vengeance.
Yeah. You spit on, what?
Yeah, I saw that.
I was finna tell my daughter, listen, this is what we finna do once we get into
I saw that there's this mother and daughter
nothing else to talk about.
fighting this other mother and daughter in school. And I was like, dang, they going at it. That's vicious. I was like, dang. Yeah. But yeah, moms would do that in a second. Mm-hmm. If something goes down at the school they don't approve of, you ain't about to have my kid.
It's always some bullying, though.
It is.
Always some bullying. My daughter got bullied in middle school. They called my phone. I clocked out of school and everything. And went right up there. They was like on the internet trying to bully my daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll be at the school waiting with her. So we can wait. Whatever y'all want to do.
I think fights are more for moms. Dads come to save the day.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, when it's like last resort.
The house burning down, the car done flipped over, shit of that nature. You calling pops off the dribble.
Yeah, yeah.
Your mama gonna tell you call your daddy.
Yeah.
The daddy called me. I'm gonna just say that.
So the dad called you to handle the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't want to get out that element.
Hey, some of them roles do be reversed. I'm gonna keep it real.
Everybody ain't able.
Oh yeah. See, my mom would say the same thing sometimes though. If she got real mad, she'll try to handle most things by herself, but if she got real mad, she'll say, "I'm gonna tell your dad."
I wish.
That's that second option where you be like, "Dang,
this is about
to turn up." Like, damn, I must have did something horrible. She's gonna tell him.
No. Dang. Sick your daddy on you?
Yeah.
That's like, is that last resort or is that?
Yeah, that's the last resort. That's when you know it done went down. Yeah.
And the cold part is he don't even yell. It's like you finna make him talk.
Yeah.
He don't even
See, my daddy never had to do nothing. Like once I learned, he just had to look at us. Like he'll just squint his eyes at us and
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's what, you was kind of saying, like, you have set that sort of precedent.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
To let him know, like, it ain't no games. Once it goes down,
I wish I could do that. I want that. Just quit playing with me. Don't even have to say quit playing with me. Just look at him.
Do you think it might be a harder thing for kids to feel that because from the mother side, they do it a lot more often?
We talk too much.
Well,
we always explain stuff.
Nature.
I don't want to explain
but I'm just talking about
no
like
more.
in general, like because the moms they already go through the like mad stages a lot more because they, fighting. If something goes down at school, they on you. They on your text message. They on you. They on you for this. They on you for that. So it's like you kind of get used to it where I feel like you don't see your dad probably as mad as often. So it's like
I think that men are like real. Ain't gonna be no conversation. It is what it is. And moms are always gonna talk, or even say they gonna do something. Like I had a time where I was always talking about I'm about to whoop you and don't ever do it. Right. My kids was like, how many times she gonna say it today?
Well, I think, and hey, it might not be 100% accurate, but like that emotional versus logical way of being, thinking of it firsthand. I feel like with women, with it being like emotion forward, they thinking of all the worst things and they all popping up. So they're like, okay, we need to, is you sure this not happening? And this not happening. And you sure this not happening? Where the dad usually could be like, okay, like maybe it's not as bad as
he already getting it off the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
Mom overlooking that. The car's flipped over. What the fuck are you saying? He like, Mom, I'm good. Where the fuck are the police there? Mom, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, you all right? You cool?
Yeah.
Tell Band-Aid I'll be there in 20 minutes. I got to stop and get a little gas first. I need some smokes.
Wow.
You hear me?
No, that is the truest statement. I got in the freaking car accident, and I was like, man, I'm gonna call my dad first. Because if I call my mom,
she gonna be
the whole family gonna be pulling up.
It's about to be everybody.
Yeah.
Where is this person at? Did the fire department come? The car's not on fire, Mom. Oh, is the hospital there? Did they check your vitals?
I don't think I'm like that. I really be telling my kids, figure it out. You got yourself in that predicament.
Yeah, my dad, when I told my dad, he was like, yeah, is everything all right? All right, well, I'll see you when you get to the house.
Right.
You feel me? Yeah, like
That's crazy.
I gotta wait till I get home. Like, I'll see you when you get there.
They already gonna charge us that big ass bill. Let them do their job.
He was like, is the car able to make it home? Yeah. All right, well, I'll see you when you get to that.
All the logics, all the good. Your heart pumping, the car gonna make it. Man. See you in a minute.
I'll meet you there. I'll meet you at the house.
Do not call me unless you bleeding. You better call 911.
Call 911 first, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie. I think I'll be that as a parent. I'll probably be lazy too.
That's not lazy.
That is lazy because you don't want to go there. You just like, I ain't gonna do it.
What?
I ain't gonna leave the house. Go ahead and I'll see you when you get to the house.
I used to be nervous to call my mom, like, if I hurt myself or if I did some shit like that.
You
like,
couldn't call, especially at work? What? You
but
called your mom
like
at
she
work?
Was
My
trip.
kids will
like,
call me.
I didn't want
to
tell her anyway. I wanted to get it all handled. She'll see the Band-Aid or whatever later on. Like, that was just me. I didn't want to tell her.
Yeah, I think it was because, like what she was saying, my mom didn't like me calling her at work.
You couldn't.
If I called her at work for anything.
That's a wrap.
If I was in trouble at school and I called her at work.
You can't even talk to her in the car on the way home.
Especially when they got to like get her to, and you talking to the manager at the job. Can you put my mama on the phone? Who is this?
Hello?
And then you hear that little whole music. I'm just waiting there sweating. Oh, Lord. As soon as she pick up, what is going on?
It better be something important. And you know it ain't.
What you got going on? Ain't you supposed to be at school right now? And I'm in trouble, right? If I got to leave this goddamn job, did you hear that? If I got to leave work.
Well, something happened. No, that's bad.
If they got to leave work, that's a whole, you better not. As soon as they pull up, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
My mom would start tripping as soon as she pull up. I'll open the door and I done told y'all. She'll probably be out the car already, walking towards the school. She didn't play no games with that.
You could always see them walking through like the windows with like the tight lips and shit.
Yeah. That power walk.
Yeah, the power walk.
It's fast too.
Keys all flapping and shit.
Man, bring them mamas back.
It's a whole aura around it.
Yeah, it is.
Like a Super Saiyan.
Bring them mamas back.
It's a charged up.
Bring
like
them
for
back.
Real. That's the parent you shook when you see that. I'm like, oh yeah, you feel small. Let me go ahead and chill out. Let's get on this. What was that you guys were talking about before the podcast? Was it last names?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it taking last names or combining last names?
Oh, shit, my bad. I was trying to adjust my hat, but we was talking about because I saw someone get married and they actually combined last names, not like the hyphenated thing. But
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know you could do that.
Me neither until I saw it, and then I'm like, oh, that's something new to me.
It's all about what you accept and what you do. So what I was telling him, why it's better to combine or add instead of hyphenate is obviously for legal purposes. Like if you combine, just add the name, then if you use either name, it doesn't matter. But if you hyphenate, they have to see that on every document for them to accept whatever you're trying to do. So if you try to change your license or change your name on your banks at your bank or open up an account or do anything, you have to have the ID with both.
I didn't know that you can combine them.
You can just add, yeah.
Yeah, my mama still.
Well, I mean, like,
if you met like someone whose last name was Thompson,
my mom still got her last.
And
name.
then say Martian.
And she added
that's what,
I can name my
Byron Martian.
yeah, if you get married,
That's
when
crazy.
you get married, you
That's
have the
crazy.
option to change. That's when you change your last name.
Right,
And
right.
So you put on there what you want your last name, what your name to be. So you can keep all your names.
Yeah, I know you can hyphenate it, but
No,
I didn't know you can combine it.
You can put whatever you want. You don't have to put a hyphen.
Oh, so you don't need.
Oh, so you can still keep like Blue, for instance.
I did for my second marriage. I put Blue Thomas. I did not hyphenate.
Oh, so it was just like a double last name.
And so did she.
Okay.
She changed hers too.
Okay. See, I was saying it more so squished together. Like you take
that's what it is.
you take
just
the
add it.
Blue
Nah,
and then
he was
Thomas.
saying like you.
Yeah, like Blamas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
That's what I was saying.
That's what I was saying. That was the scenario I was talking about.
That's what I was talking
Hell
about.
no.
You changed your last name to Blamas.
No.
See, now you know why I was so confused. I was like,
But that's
oh,
why
you
I was
do
saying
that?
it was crazy though.
I didn't know
I
you
never
could do
seen that.
You can actually do that. Can you
Yeah.
actually do
Wait,
that?
make it Blamas? Like
I-
make a
yeah,
whole
like-
new name?
I don't know. He said it. And
I
was
just seen the two
confused
people
about
get
it.
married and they did it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You can
That's
actually-
different.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was
that's
saying.
crazy.
Yeah.
To create a new last name?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of weird.
That,
So wait, are you naming kids
you know.
of that union? That last
Yeah,
name?
That's what he was
that's your
saying.
new family
Creating
name.
a new surname.
you done make.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. That's
Wow.
It was the first time I ever, because I wouldn't think no way of it if you didn't have no hyphen and it was still just two
Right.
different last names. I'm saying you take the BL
Wow.
and
I've
then the
never-
OMAS and that's the last name.
Blamas. That's crazy to me. I don't know. That's crazy to me. I don't know what to. It's something new though. Wow.
Amelia said, I wasn't aware of combining last names as well. Might be a stupid question. So, like some Hispanic people with multiple last names that aren't hyphenated. So, we said that as well, too. It's a Hispanic tradition to keep all the last names of both father and mother.
Yeah,
But he's talking about
nah, like you.
that's crazy.
yeah,
You're
you-
talking about a hybrid
Creating
name.
Yeah,
a new
hybrid
surname.
name.
No, that because you think like how are surnames created? You think back like how did you get your last name? How did this last name start? But to create a name from the two people getting married, that's like
Yeah.
I don't think
the
I
way
would
I
want
lo-
to be called Blamas. Blamas?
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I could do something like that.
The way I noticed on Facebook, they did the name change. They both did. So,
I mean, I know you can do that. Like I said.
but yeah, they did
But
it
I
like
didn't
that.
know you
though.
can create a new
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
completely, but I did know you could give the two people a different name.
Yeah.
Like so, even males, if a male allowed it, they could add their wife's name to their last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's less weird to me.
Yeah.
Than
I
You
can't
know, the
believe
hybrid
that
name.
though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I need
that's
to
what.
research.
See,
that.
when you were
Me
saying it, I
too.
thought that's what you did. Oh.
We was just both Blue Thomas.
Nah.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought when
Yeah.
she said it. When he said it, and you agreed, I was like, "Dang, you really did that? That's some crazy stuff." I don't know.
I wish I would be around here being called Whitney Blamas. No,
I mean, that's just an interesting. I don't know how you can change it,
Blamas.
like, or not change it, but like morph it into something new. Like,
Think of an ex and put y'all last names together.
Yeah. I mean, my last name's Ross, so it's not really gonna.
Yeah, it can.
There's not much-
Okay, give me a last name. We gonna make up a name right now.
I mean, there's the recent. I don't want to necessarily go through anyone recent.
Okay,
Let's
use
see.
me.
Okay, Rue. Will you be Rue?
Okay.
Or Boss?
Bloss.
Yeah. That'd be a little better, you know.
Bloss sounds crazy, guys. That
Rue is better.
Bloss don't. Yeah,
Blarshall?
Rue.
Blarshall? How about Blarshall?
That's even worse. That's horrible.
Terrible.
Like, what'd you do? How would you do like what? Washington?
Yeah, Washington and...
Would that be Was for you?
Oh, well, yeah, like
But
Washington with
people-
Ross?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Washington?
Washington?
Or
Washington.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Rashington.
Rossington.
Rashington.
I do Rossington.
But see, they put the names together. That's how they do the celebrities. They put the first names together.
The shipping,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just
But to make up a new
shipping.
name.
Like when they ship two people.
Like
and then-
Bennifer.
Yeah.
Like they're a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
to think to make a new surname with your two last names, that's just crazy.
That's beyond me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do with that.
I like the idea of it because it's
Would you
like
do it?
starting a whole new lineage. Yeah, it's
Right.
like a brand new.
Because you have to give your
a
kids that.
brand
But see,
new-
people are
That's
so
the
stuck
interesting
on
part
their
about it, but-
family name that even men, they're not gonna take on their wife's name, and they also not gonna let their kids take on that as well. So they be stuck to that family name to create a new one.
Yeah.
But if they made it to where you had to,
If it was forced,
like
you gotta
had to, if you combine that's a part of the marriage when you sign, like y'all have to create a name together.
morph the name.
Create a new. Your family name is your family name. You have to leave your family that you were raised in. That's done. That ends there, and now you about to create your people. So
you think there
have
would
your
be
own.
less marriages if that was the case?
That would just be a hard
It's just
situation.
a name, and it's your name. It's not like you're taking somebody else's name. Y'all are creating one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can we just make up one and
There
not
are
have
already
to, like,
less marriages.
combine
Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
both last names?
There's already less marriages. But say like that was something you had to do for children. So like if you and you had these kids together, y'all last names for that baby has to be combined.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not make it just about marriage.
Yeah.
That baby gets a name from y'all two.
People do that with first names already.
Well, I think in today's world nowadays too, you're seeing a lot more women who want to keep their last name.
That's why I
From
said
stories
that-
I've heard.
It be petty stuff though. It don't be for real. Because if they was really in love, they are so quick to take the man's last name and not think twice about that name. They'd be like, whatever about that last name.
Yeah. I'm just saying, with whether it be an empowerment thing or whatever, there's definitely more women who want to keep.
I wanted to
The
keep
last
mine.
name.
I ain't gonna even hold you. I just like my name better than his.
So would you guys be okay? Would everybody be okay with like doing the hyphenated?
Yeah, I don't mind hyphenated. I'm cool with
Hyphenated
it.
is stressful when it comes down to the documents, but it's
Yeah.
not nothing wrong with doing it.
What about you?
I'm not hyphenated. She can hyphenate. I'm not hyphenating them.
A motherfucker.
I like.
She can.
I think hyphenated
I knew
names
you was
look
gonna
kind of
say
cool.
Depending on the name.
I
Yeah,
don't know. To me, it's like it's doing too much.
hyphenated.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
just
and
sometimes-
what do you hyphenate a third time? Like if the
like-
daughter or if the son gets married with a hyphenated last name, and then they gotta add a third. You know, and
Like
it just
seven.
keeps going down the lineage.
7 hyphenated names
Yeah.
down the line. Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
why we got to go through all that?
That always is my question. So what name do you pick then? I don't know. I guess we'll learn in 50 years.
I guess people just gonna have to agree on what they agree on, and whatever they agree on will be the last name. But I feel like I ain't taking no.
The hyphenated name's way better than the damn hybrid name, though, for sure.
Oh yeah,
the hybrid names
That's
is rough.
100% true. Like,
Yeah.
hybrid, morphing it together is crazy. That just doesn't make sense.
I could not
wouldn't-
believe that's what he was
Yeah.
talking about.
that wouldn't even.
I
I'd be
like it.
nah.
I like the thought.
I think
I like
the
that thought.
thought of creating something new is cool, but actually doing it, like I feel like sound like a circus name at the end.
Would you
Definitely.
Would you view the dude in that circumstance any sort of way?
What you mean?
Like him being cool with it being hyphenated?
Like a
Well,
man.
Like a man's
adding
being cool,
his
changing
wife
his
name?
last name and hybridizing it with hers?
Hybridizing
No,
it
I
or
would most-
like hyphenating
Yeah,
it.
you
It's
talking
just two
about
No,
different things.
hybridizing it.
Are you talking about
okay.
morphing it or?
Yeah, morphing it, hybridizing
created
it, making
words.
it hybrid.
I would most definitely call him weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because the name gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Wamis.
You don't even be knowing who they are on Facebook no more. That's how it caught my eye. I'm like, I don't even know who this is.
I mean, if you add a different name anyway, if you get married and you're now someone else, or add a different name, then people are gonna be like, "Who is that anyway?"
We already got names we don't use. We got middle names for no reason.
Yeah.
That's
Niggas
not
just
true.
got a hidden name.
Some people use their middle
Some
name.
people use their
Why
middle
you
name.
think people do middle names?
That's what I'm saying.
What you
just
mean?
some extra shit, just in case.
Yeah. Just for a little accent.
Oh, why do we have middle names?
Yeah, like
I mean, people.
not the origin of it, but why do people like middle names? Not like, do you think it's like, hey, we couldn't name them this, so
No, I want the origin of it because it's on the application. Like, why do you have a middle name?
Right. I know some people that don't have middle names.
no, my niece and nephew don't.
And I got 4 names. That's what I'm saying. It's some bullshit.
Oh, see, that's why you don't fuck with it.
Yeah, my parents combined.
You got too many.
They did the combining. They morphed their names
that
to make
type
my
of
middle
shit.
name.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Or
Ain't it ghetto? I'm telling you, my
Yeah,
mom
when
and
you
my
do that.
daddy did that ghetto shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do the morph thing
Yeah,
with
my
first
mama-
names, middle names. You get that craziness.
they gonna remember me.
How you
Shit.
think my sister
Oh.
named Antrika?
That's her middle name?
No, that's her first name.
Who's who?
My mom's name is Tereska, and her dad's name is Anton.
She's like
you
a
morph
hybrid
it.
name.
Yeah.
Amelia said, what about just coming up with something just completely different?
I think that's fine. I don't know why.
Not
you
even
think
morphing
that.
the names.
Yeah, if you come up with something,
Yeah.
y'all just came up with something. Y'all was like, hey, this,
Like, I want my last name to be this.
yeah. Like, what if we made our
What
last
would you
name this?
make
I'll be cool with that.
up? What would your last name be?
It wouldn't be no Blomus.
Or Blarshall.
Rashington.
You see, we didn't even
I
mess
would
with
keep
his
Blue.
last name.
I
We know
would
it
keep
ain't
Blue.
gonna
I
go
love
much.
my last name. I would not want any other name than that.
Wilkins.
Yeah,
ain't
imagine trying to mix it
See,
that.
that's it's by it. It got to be by itself.
Yeah, do that with Washington, Walkinson. I mean, crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's why I couldn't do it. I'm not morphing no names. But coming up with something, I don't know what name I would come up with, but coming up with like a name would be cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. As long as we don't come up with nothing crazy.
I mean, at that point, y'all have to both agree, so it
Yeah.
shouldn't be crazy. But coming up with names, period, is hard. Like, when I was trying to come up with the name for my daughter and my son, it was so hard. I did not want to mess them up.
Is that why a lot of people probably mix together first names? Because it's hard to
does
come up with
that?
names?
A lot.
Do
of
Do they
people.
really? Oh.
Yes.
Like my nephew's name is Deshaun after both of their first
Oh.
names. Dana, Sean, Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people that got
There it
combined
is.
names.
I don't know if that's necessarily well, you were saying that's because of why?
Oh, because they can't.
They can't think of nothing
yeah.
else.
Because you think that's a lack of creativity as opposed to like carrying on the lineage of like
That
their
might be
names?
it too, but
Yeah.
who knows? You got to think about what they thinking about. So like me,
Yeah.
when I was thinking of names, I was trying to be so different that I didn't took apostrophes and tore them up in the name. Then added my kids' names would have had probably like 5 syllables. It was crazy. But then when I decided on my daughter's name, I just wanted to spell it like not different, but to where nobody could mess it up. And that completely didn't happen. They messed her name up more than anything. And then her first name, and then I tried to do her some justice because her last name got messed up because it was my last name and nobody ever said it right. And then now she got a first name and a last name that can't nobody seem to pronounce.
Yeah, I think it comes from people wanting their kid's name to be different.
I
So they
think
be
now
trying to come
I
up with
think
something.
I think in today's day for sure.
Yeah, people
a
be
lot of
trying to
people
come up
want a
with something
unique
crazy.
name. Which I think is cool. I think honestly, if I have kids, I'm gonna want unique names. I don't want, John.
Have you seen when somebody named their kid? Have you seen somebody name their kid Unique?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of
it's
them.
spelled Y-O-U.
used to
The
date
little
you.
backyardian kid character was I'm Unique. A cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's like I'm unique.
It was
That's what-
it was with a U, a big
Yeah.
U and an M. I'm Unique.
No, I think I seen someone named Unique as Youneek.
yeah, that's That's a little extreme. I'll be so mad.
That's unique.
And that's unique. I think that's why. That's why some kids be getting older and be pissed at their parents
when
and they go back to the,
when
to
I
see
see people with older names, I be like, that's a grown name.
Yeah.
They named that baby John.
Yeah, like John.
There's some names where I feel like they sound like they're for old people.
Right.
Yeah.
Older
So I'd be like,
people.
why would you name your
How
kid
you
something?
think?
But
And man, I don't know.
now they gotta go through looking like they
Little 2-year-old Henry.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, really.
How you think they got the nickname Dick from Richard though?
Or Bob.
Or
Bob
Bob from Robert.
Richard?
Oh, that's Robert.
Yeah,
huh?
Dick is short, like
Yeah.
a nickname for Richard.
For Richard.
I ain't know that.
You didn't know that?
Teaching me something.
No,
So
no.
if anybody ever calls you Richard, that was a like sneak diss people used to do.
Really?
Yeah, they'll say you're a Richard.
What? I never heard that.
You never heard that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they used to call you Richard,
That's
and then
crazy.
I just don't know how it got to that
That's
point though. Like, yo, I'm not calling you Richard. I'm calling you Dick. Like, it's just crazy. I can't call you Richard.
That is
Y'all
crazy.
skipped
though.
over Rich.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Richie.
Ricardo,
Yeah.
like all
I don't know
type
where
of
you
shit.
get the
Right.
shorten. What shorted? I would think Rick
You
would be-
reverse some shit.
would be
shorten
better.
it.
Why do we automatically nickname kids like automatically?
I think that just
Off the
happens
rip.
naturally.
You took my thing. I was gonna say I think we should let kids grow up a little bit before we name them, because you end up with a nickname anyway that suits your personality or what you like.
Mhm.
Little stink.
We just basically go off.
That's probably why we can't.
You get what I'm saying?
Those nicknames.
Man.
Yes, some of the nicknames be crazy though.
Yeah.
Some
You
of them
don't
be cool.
ever get called your real name no more, because this suits
Absolutely
you.
not.
Yeah.
As
And they'll
soon
call
as
you
they
that for a
come out,
long
you
time.
naming
Feel
them
me?
something.
Yeah. But you
And
know what
I'm the
though?
worst.
Sometimes they change though. Like sometimes you have like I'll see some kids have like 4 nicknames.
Right. Based off of things. Like my son, he started out with my daughter called him Brubby. So we call him Brubby.
Mhm.
But then as he then grew into his self, everybody called him Speedy on a basketball court. Now he tell you where you could, like, you can't call me that. It's like, what you mean I can't call you that? That's your name. Everybody know you like that. But he's like, nah. So
Levels to this shit.
as soon
Right.
as he came out, she tried to say brother and baby together. She thought that was her baby. So we've been calling him Brubby.
See, I do think that like it would be interesting if people waited a while before they named their kid though, just to see what like fit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can't wait though. People can't. People got to know the gender 6 months before, or 3 months before.
You think you
know?
shouldn't know the gender?
I don't mind it. I'm just saying. I don't think people gonna,
Wait for
want to
them.
wait
Make no difference.
to make no
Right.
name if they can't even wait to see the gender.
I know some people will have. I just seen this cute little reveal. Like first they had the gender reveal. Well, no, they didn't. They combined the gender reveal. So they had a one side of balloons with boy names, one side of balloons with girl names. And so as they were popping them, they got down to the last 2, and then they picked which one. Like after they figured out the gender, then it was like, okay, now what we gonna name it? So they had all these names, and that was the new little trend.
So they chose the name and the.
They showed you the gender, and then they chose the name. They had like a whole bunch of different names.
I don't know if I could definitively say this because it's too. It's with a partner that you do it with. But I would not mind like being in the delivery room and seeing, okay, this
This
what
is
it
the
is.
baby
Yeah,
name.
what do we want to name him or her?
So no conversation before.
Conversation before if it's this, but we finding out that day
Once
when
you
the
look
baby's
at
born.
them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like that suspense.
That'd be kind of
That's
cool.
cool.
Though. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
Even
respect
the
that.
gender?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The gender, yeah, and then off rip. Okay, this looks more like Timothy.
Timothy. I'm him.
Right.
So you
As
can
soon
go
as he
around
come out,
saying that. I'm him.
As soon
I don't know why
I
that's
came out like
such
that.
a big thing right now. That joke's funny.
Man,
And I hear people say that.
especially on the basketball scene.
Yeah.
Man,
You are not him. I'm him.
They got shirts that
I'm
say
him.
I'm him.
I'm like that.
I'm like
did
that.
blow
What
up,
they
like,
say?
the last
I'm
5
like
years.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm him. I'm really like that. You ain't really like that.
Yeah. That whole conversation is funny to me. I love seeing those arguments. That joke's funny. I be
Really?
like, yeah. I be watching that joke laughing.
I'll be like, it's not gonna end well.
Yeah. Because you know when you say that
Now
that
you
to
gotta
somebody,
show me.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is. It's that
Like
test.
check ball.
You're not him. I'm him. Well, I want to see which one is him.
Hello, what we doing? Are we just talking about
now,
this?
yeah, now I want to see. I'm interested. You got my attention. Every time I see those arguments, that happens to me every time. It's just funny. Look it up on
And
YouTube.
they be dead serious too.
Yeah,
They be real life.
yeah. I've been seeing it on social media too, because now they got the YouTubers doing it. I'd be like, that's so crazy. y'all done fell in the trend too now. Y'all on it. I'm him. All right. None of y'all are actually him.
Really, none of y'all. There's always somebody else.
Next thing you know, the trans people gonna be doing it. I'm them. No, I'm just
Oh,
Hey,
You.
wow.
Wow, bitch.
I thought I had to get-
Suave.
all right. Anyways, we ain't trying to get no
Nah,
big. So let's go with the. They about to cover my throat.
Yo.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That was a good one. Hold on, though.
I'm not even gonna say nothing.
That was
I'm
those.
not even gonna say nothing to that.
I never seen you let those intrusive thoughts get to you.
Yeah.
No, I just thought that was funny. It was like calling my name. It was like right there. I was like, well,
You said I'm they them.
I'm Shim.
We them.
Like, dang. But yeah, what we taking away from this one? Do you want to take it away, Blue?
Go through your kids' phones. Or if you twerk, you don't gotta do it. Be like twerk.
Be like,
Be a daddy.
be a dad.
Be a daddy. That's why the father is important in the home.
Definitely.
I feel like we touched on some good parenting topics.
Mm-hmm.
Raising kids and stuff like that.
My daughter asked me today, do y'all be talking about us? Yeah.
You're like, please don't watch.
Yeah, she ain't
Dang,
got
yeah.
Facebook.
Oh yeah, you going through the phone? They got no Facebook, IG.
I couldn't, man.
You got it on lock.
Man, I mean, I just have to be on the IG. Like, I need to see what y'all talking about.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
You cool with Facebook and IG and shit?
Man, I keep my gray hairs to a minimum.
Yeah.
Do y'all over there?
Nah.
But
What
that's
do I
how-
need to watch it for?
But that's how I felt with the whole like boyfriend, girlfriend thing, because I know that if you think that you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, ain't nothing I can say. If I can sit here and say all day, no, you don't, no, you don't. You
Control what you can control.
Exactly. So that's why, you know.
And I say that I got multiple children, so I really had to play it like that. I couldn't be, man.
You could be stressed
what?
out real
Oh,
quick.
I believe it.
Come on now.
And it'll be so hard, like trying to. I feel like it'll be almost impossible to try to keep a kid away from social media.
Right.
Oh, definitely. Because my daughter's back on it
Oh,
with
yeah.
the thread stuff. But she got on it when she, you know, moved out. But I tell her, like, at least I've instilled in you what you don't need to be doing on the internet. So what you decide to do is what you decide to do. So if you get into some internet beef and them people might not just be out of town, they might be in town.
Yeah.
And then you see them at the mall. Ain't that the girl that was talking about, you know? Now what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So
She gonna call you.
don't call me. Call me. Let me know when you get home. Let me know when you get home. Not for real. I'm stepping
It's
behind my
my
baby.
daughters too.
I'm stepping. I'm
It's my
coming.
daughters
We know,
with
we seen
that
it.
Internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen both kids sneak on the internet, and that's just crazy because I always.
Sneak. They sneaking? How they
Oh,
sneaking?
yeah.
Okay,
seen
not
it.
the internet.
I've
Let
seen
me
that
say
parent.
social media.
Okay.
You wasn't sneaking?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell no. I was downstairs. My daddy walked past me. I'm getting on AOL. I'm on in Yahoo chat. Hello?
Cause,
And he
All
was cool
night
with it?
long. What?
No,
Your-
see,
your
my mom
parents
didn't
wasn't-
want me having no MySpace.
oh, see,
I had
my parents
MySpace,
didn't
Black
care, though.
Planet.
Oh, I had MySpace, but like that's what
You
I'm
had
saying.
to sneak?
Yeah, I was
sneak-
sneaking.
I didn't have to
Nah,
sneak as
see.
a kid.
See, me and my dad, he, you know,
Well, I think it's because my mom had the computer in her room when we was kids, so there wasn't no excuse.
You was in there
mine is in the
going
living
through
room.
MySpace songs in her room and shit.
See, I wasn't
I was
doing
on
nothing I wasn't supposed to
AOL.
be doing though. Like, kids sneak when they ain't supposed to be doing something. So like, you watching some stuff you ain't supposed to be watching, doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing, and you sneak.
No, but I think for me, like my mom just was unaware of and she was like worried about, predators and shit on MySpace and
my
shit.
dad didn't know what I was doing on the internet.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wasn't doing too much crazy stuff. Being on Yahoo Chat, obviously you can go and meet people and then they end up telling you to come meet them somewhere. But I wasn't. I wasn't doing.
You wasn't in those chat rooms.
I was in the chat rooms, but I wasn't meeting nobody.
ASL.
I was talking crazy.
You was asking ASL.
I was talking crazy in them chat rooms, but was
Las
I meeting
Vegas.
you? Nope.
18.
Nope. Yup. There you
Female.
go. Yup. 5'5".
Them chat rooms go.
Curvy.
People was in there.
On the party line.
Yeah.
Man, we used to talk about what we was finna do, and we ain't do none of that stuff. It was all conversation.
I actually had a friend who met up with someone off the party line.
Did they?
And suppose,
Well, don't do that.
Didn't go. It was like a.
I thought the party line was crazy.
You'll get snatched up real quick if you doing all that. You handing them yourself. You
Yeah.
just handing them.
It ended up being like a, girl that sounded more attractive. Had a more attractive voice than she looked.
Billy
catfish.
said,
The early catfish days.
Billy said, "What is ASL?"
Oh, you don't know the ASL?
Yeah, you don't know the ASL. That's how you know. You must be like a kid, huh? But
ASL was age, sex, location on the chat rooms.
Yeah. That's how that thing got started.
Yeah.
They start siphoning through that thing like, okay, who in my city?
Dang, do you think that's where predators came from?
I mean,
I'm sure. Yeah.
They had to be up in there. They was in there like.
They be lying.
I mean, predators came before the internet, but
I mean, yeah,
that gave them something to.
Yeah, they
found
new medium.
They found they resting spot right there. They was like, oh yeah, I can find
anybody.
I can find all the information from a distance. It's interesting.
And then you opening up to them. That's why we was talking about like catfish and stuff like that, where you just open up to a person so easily through just talking to them. You don't gotta see them. You ain't gotta be around them. And you wonder why you still have shows like Catfish still after it's been on for years and you still got people getting catfish.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because you can make a connection through conversation, but people can still trick you over time.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to trick people.
I don't want to get
and they get better and better.
I have a friend, Tinder and shit, they still have like catfish situations where like some Russian hackers or scammers will make profiles.
I've never been on Tinder.
And they'll like get you and they get your phone number and they ask you for something promiscuous. then the person will send it to them and then they like, yo, you need to send me 5 racks or else this going to all your Instagram friends.
Oh, dang.
And you'll see them create
That's what they doing?
They'll see you create I actually I saw an article like a month ago of a kid who got caught up like that in high school. He had a girlfriend.
Throw that thing out there.
Well, he had a girlfriend. He didn't want to get out that he potentially cheated on her. So he ended
up that money.
She just gonna have to find out.
Nah, he ended it. He
just gave up.
And so they trying to make it more aware that this is a scam nowadays. So just be aware.
I'm not gonna say nothing that if it got out that I'm gonna be like too caught out.
Ashamed about.
No. I'm just saying with like kids, with your kids.
That's crazy
and
that
stuff.
you'll send something that you would want to like trip about if somebody said I'm gonna send it. You should automatically in your head know that it could get sent or it can get exposed.
You got to be really cautious about stuff like that. But people be bold on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
They be like, I'm showing everything.
How do you get catfished on the internet?
I think people just have
people
ways.
don't
them yet. How you believe in what you ain't seen?
Yeah.
People going off the profile, they see the pics.
But you ain't seen
But the term
yet.
catfish is if you expect something and then it's not what you expected. So if you go meet someone and they done showed you who they are, they done sent you picture, or you see their pics, and then
this accumulated off the internet, I'm not taking that shit for.
What? But
you from a
term
different
is still,
era,
you
though.
got catfish. No matter if you expected it or not, you still got. So my friend she just reshared something, and I told her delete this time because you keep resharing it to remind me I got catfish. But I didn't truly get catfish because I didn't care what he looked like or nothing. But we was messaging, and then he was like, "Oh, where you at? I'm downtown. You wanna?" And I was like, "Well, we going to karaoke over here." And so when he came, he completely didn't look like who he was at all. Like,
so how's that not a catfish?
it is. But what I'm saying is I didn't
care.
I didn't care. I didn't like look at his profile and say, who is this? And oh, he fine. The pictures, he was nice looking, but which is why I even allowed him to know where I was at.
Yeah.
But when he came, baby was not that. And it was what it was. But it's the fact that you catfish me. Like, why you lie?
Why is it called catfishing?
Because they using somebody else's pictures.
Yeah, but how did that determine?
I forgot.
It's because you go fishing. You think you got a bluefin tuna. You railing that bitch in. You pull it out the water. It's a goddamn catfish.
They explained something. It was something to that extent, though. It's something like that. Yeah.
What's wrong with a catfish?
No, they explained something like that. I forgot what it was, though. There's a reason. There's a reason for it, though. It's about like that.
Compared to a bluefish tuna.
Salmon.
Yeah. You're like, I could have stayed at the lake for this shit.
That's crazy.
I thought it was some other reason that was like similar to that, but not exactly that. But yeah, it's something in those veins of like.
But then they added all the other ones. The hatfish.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh yeah, hatfish.
What else?
I mean, yeah, that's just a play off words, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good episode.
It was.
Yeah.
This was funny. Well, you guys know the whole spiel. I'll go through it. You guys know the Instagram, the YouTube, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys for supporting us and showing us love, and all the people who are in the comments chiming in and stuff like that. Yeah, that does mean age, sex, location for y'all who don't know that.
Go drop your ASL on somebody inbox trying to let me know what happens. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. You're going to have my aunt doing some crazy stuff you don't need to be doing at that age.
Oh, that's that right? Wait a minute.
He said,
Get out of here.
No. Hey. Dang, my bad.
We appreciate you guys chiming in. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.